Crossing guards are incredibly important to the safety and well-being of students and families in our community. Your duty as a crossing guard is to manage the crosswalk to make sure everyone can cross the road safely. A crosswalk is usually found at the intersection of two roads and can also be found in parking lots, across sidewalks where vehicles enter a parking lot, and at other designated locations. Often, lines will be painted to show pedestrians where to walk. Sometimes it can be hard for people and vehicles to see each other, even at a crosswalk. That's where you come in. The crossing guard's job is to make sure vehicles see pedestrians and have come to a stop before people start crossing the road. With the help of crossing guards, everyone arrives to school safely and they get home safely at the end of the school day. During your shift, you'll be expected to have the appropriate equipment and uniform so that drivers and other students recognize you as a crossing guard. A complete uniform includes a bright vest to be worn at all times, including over a winter coat or raincoat, a stop flag to communicate with drivers when to stop, and sturdy shoes and clothing appropriate for the weather that day, such as gloves and hats in the winter or rain boots and a raincoat on a rainy day. Your safety coordinator may give you a cone to put in the roadway at your crosswalk. Be sure to keep the cone where directed. The cone is important because it restricts the road width for oncoming traffic and keeps drivers in a narrow driving lane toward the center of the road. The cone also helps draw attention to the crossing location and increases driver awareness of pedestrians. Taking part in the safety of others is a very important job. You will always need to pay attention to both traffic and pedestrians and avoid any distractions. This means that during your shift, you should not be eating, using electronics, reading or doing homework, joking around, sitting or lying down, or doing anything else that might distract you from your job. There are several steps to cross students at your crosswalk. We'll go over these now. If you are working with another crossing guard, help them cross to their side of the road at the start of your shift by following these same steps. When a student arrives at your crosswalk and wants to cross the road, first look around to see if there are any others that are nearing the crossing location. If there is time, wait for the other students and cross everyone as a group. This will help limit the amount of time you spend in the roadway. The next step is to choose a gap in traffic. You can wait for a large gap when cars are far away, or if traffic is constant, signal your intent to start a crossing by extending your flag in front of you as you approach the curb. Wait for cars to come to a stop and look both ways to ensure it is safe to enter the road. Face towards oncoming traffic and maintain eye contact with drivers to ensure that they see you. Never just assume a driver sees you, as there are many distractions that can take a driver's attention away from what's ahead of them. Once you've determined it is safe, you can tell students to begin crossing. It's important not to use hand signals, since drivers could think they are intended for them. Maintain your position until students have completed the crossing. It is especially important to stay focused during this step. Avoid distractions like interacting with students who are crossing, and keep your attention focused on traffic and student safety. After all students have reached the opposite curb, you can make your way back to your starting position. Continue these steps for each group of students you cross during your shift. At the end of your shift, you will help your partner cross back to the school side of the road in the same way you helped other students using the crosswalk. Make sure to watch traffic as your partner crosses the road. They will need to pick up any cones as they cross, and when they have reached your side of the road, pick up the last cone and exit the roadway. Let's recap the steps for crossing students at the crosswalk. The first step is to assemble students to cross in a group. Next, you'll choose a gap in traffic. Then you will signal to oncoming traffic with your flag and enter the roadway when it's safe to do so. Next, you'll start crossing students using vocal cues and maintain your position until all students have reached the opposite curb. Finally, you'll return to your starting curb and allow traffic to continue. Remember to always observe safe crossing procedures. People have the right-of-way at a crosswalk, but it's important to make sure drivers are aware that people intend to cross. Don't attempt to direct traffic. Your job is to make drivers aware that people are using the crosswalk, not to control their driving. If a car isn't stopping, just let it go and wait for the next opportunity. Wear your safety vest and carry your flag at all times. Be alert and expect the unexpected. And most importantly, have fun while being safe. You play an important role in helping students and families cross the street to safely arrive at school every day. By following the guidance given in this video and the instructions from your safety coordinator, you can make a big difference in your school. Thank you for volunteering to be a crossing guard this year. This video is brought to you by the Chippewa Valley Safe Routes to School Partnership, which includes the School District of Altoona, the Chippewa Falls Area Unified School District, the Eau Claire Area School District, and the West Central Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission. The video was produced by the West Central Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission with support from Mayo Clinic Health System.